Good, looking good. All right. Well, welcome everyone to Rock University. I'm thrilled you're taking time out of your busy schedules to hang out with us today. I am Tim Sams, AVP, Learning and Development at Rock Title. On today's webinar with me is the incredible Jocelyn Lemon, our Administrative Assistant Extraordinaire. Say hello, Jocelyn.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Please be sure to check the QR codes at the bottom of the screen. One will connect you to our YouTube, and this video will be posted there in the next few days. The second one is going to show you our sales reps. If you do not know your sales rep, you can always reach out to Tim and he can get you connected.
Well said, Jocelyn. Together, we'll be keeping an eye on the chat. And so if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat and we'll check on them there. And now I couldn't be more excited for today's presenter, Geoff Zimpfer, national trainer, keynote speaker, and one of Housing Wire's top ranked podcasts. I also have somewhere in my notes here the marketing nerd, and I don't know who coined that phrase, but I think that might be spot on. Sir Geoff, all yours. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you very much. I think I should change that to marketing student because the topic we're here to talk about today, AI, we're all learning, we're all kind of learning and taking this on as it goes and evolves. And it seems like something is new every week, or maybe even every day sometimes. And so that's a little bit overwhelming. So that's my approach today is I want to take it, I want to go small rather than go wide, because there's so much we could talk about with AI. It can be overwhelming. And I like to present content in this situation like this, that's going to be relevant and contextual for who's here today. So I want to thank Rock Title for having me once again. And by the way, guys, remember to thank your rep. And if you're looking for places to send your business, maybe it makes sense to look at where you get the most value versus just, basic service, right? And all that kind of jazz, table stakes, like anybody can do that. But where people actually helping you to grow your business. So my second webinar of the day, so I can already feel it in the voice, but in the chat, please put in, what is your primary use case or function with AI right now? What platform do you tend to use most? Is it ChatGPT? Is this something else? And what do you tend to use it mostly for? Because you guys are going to drive the agenda here today of what we talk about. So put it in the chat. And while you do that, I'm going to take a sip and see what we have.
Love it. While those comments start to flow in, I didn't know this. I didn't know that AI has been around for 70 plus years.
Do explain, Tim. What do you mean by that?
I did a quick, obviously in ChatGPT, I'm like, well, how long has, artificial intelligence been around? And it gave me a timeline starting from 1950 all the way up into probably 2020 is when ChatGPT 3 has come out. And I think that's where most of us have really started using, artificial intelligence, at least for me. So it really seems like even 2 or 3 years ago is really where I started to get involved personally and started hearing about it a lot.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely on the fast track right now. Okay, so I can see some comments coming in from Jocelyn. Thank you. First comment of the day. Ashley says ChatGPT. Same with Marissa. Sunshine. What's up, Sunshine? Use ChatGPT for business and personal, mostly how to upscale your business. Ooh, I'm curious what that means. To assist with work and to learn more about it, ChatGPT, writing content, so y'all don't sound so southern. Come on now. I was just in Texas. That's how they all sound over there. Y'all fixing to go get ready. Michael Padilla, what's up? Revi, Grok, ChatGPT for social posts. How are you liking it so far, by the way? How are you liking the outputs? I'm curious how much time you spend editing, adjusting, coaching it, because it doesn't sound like you, or it sounds very AI-ish. I see Deborah says she's using Rejig. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a social media posting platform?
That is a favorite of mine. Absolutely.
Is it?
Yeah, it basically it scours the internet for sources that you put in. So it could be NAR, it could be Realtor.com, and it generates your content for you, captions written, emojis in place, hashtags done. and your branding is on point every time, so you don't have to worry about the branding component of it. So that's one of my favorites for sure.
Okay, so this is rejig.com, reejig.com. Lead the AI powered worker revolution. Well, that's new to me. I'm going to assume that most people here, unless I'm living in a cave, haven't heard of that. Very interesting. So this is cool about these conversations. Has anybody heard of that before besides Tim and who was that who shared? Deborah? Put in the chat. Have you heard of Rejig? Guys, we got to get the engagement and conversation going. Participation wins. So Sunshine, she's liking it. Try to find more people. Why YouTube, TikTok. A lot of people haven't heard of it. Okay, so well, there's your first win of the day. Rejig.ai. Tim put a link in there. Just click the link if you want. Save the tab for later. All right, now, so I've seen mostly GPT. What's your biggest frustration with using AI so far? Biggest frustration challenge, thing you keep hitting your head up against that you would like to fix? Love to hear that as well. Just want to solve some problems here today. And the rock title people can feel free to chime in as well about your biggest challenge or issue with AI.
Yeah, so recently, Geoff, I created an AI twin through a platform and started utilizing that a little bit. So some of the challenges obviously would be like I think when I said the word content, it said content. So just kind of working out those small challenges, and it can seem kind of AI, right? But I'm enjoying the platform and my twin, because it really does help me save some time and post something, so on and so forth, very easily.
When you say your twin, what do you mean? Did you build out in custom GPT a custom, or did you like give it instructions so it recognizes you and your brand voice and all that?
Yeah, so what I actually ended up doing is a program called Captions. And I've always used Captions to take one of my raw videos, bring it into Captions. It would add the captions, and you can have some editing features within. And then with the just AI blowing up all over, they introduced AI Twin. So within that application, I just basically stand in front of the camera, record myself, speak for about a minute or 100 words. It asks me to make some facial gestures, and then it creates my twin.
I see. So now you can create a video of yourself saying whatever you want.
Yeah, just upload the script and change just the editing, whether they have some templates that are in place that are nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And have you been happy with the output of that in terms of how it renders, and it actually, how obvious is it or not that it's not a human?
I think the first few, you could tell, and you can create a different instance of yourself. So I have like 6 different AI Tims, and I've tried messing around with Mike, tried different, adding more personality into it, and just
Are you talking about
monotone.
voices versus faces?
My voice is always going to be there. Yeah. In fact, I could drop a link in for those of you that are in Realty One group. I dropped in on the Facebook group. All the videos that I did today were my AI twin.
Right. So this is a rendering of Tim.
Yeah.
And what is the kind of use case there? I'm trying to put something in the chat. Am I unable to do chat here or no? It says it's only about
Should be able to.
I'm reading the chat, but what's the use case, Tim? What are you trying to get yourself out of doing?
It's not that I'm trying to get myself out of. It's just sometimes you get pressed for time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I need to get this video out. I want to get it out before this webinar. I've got like a half an hour. I could take the time to set up, light and get my mic'd up and everything, and write the script and do it. But sometimes it's just fun to let my AI twin knock it out with a script of choice.
And so, can you give me a real world use case of like how you might use this in a real estate context?
Yeah, I think just one off would be, I think, when people maybe go out to visit a website or maybe so on and so forth, and like they put in their contact information, you might be able to have a catalog of videos put together. that could indeed be AI driven, that you could just shoot out via text very quickly. Looking forward. Thanks for dropping by my website. Looking forward to connecting with you. I'll be in touch shortly with a phone call, something like that. Certainly, that would be an option.
Interesting. Yeah, and I'm trying to put a link to that site in the chat. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, I can't seem to insert anything in the chat or even comment on it.
What's the link for, Geoff? Which one?
For the one you're talking about, captions.ai.
Yeah, let me track it down and I'll drop it in.
Yeah, it's captions.ai. I'm looking at the site right now. So I wanted to bring that up to share it with some people.
Sure.
There's other ones out there that I've heard of, like HeyGen and some others. So this is similar to that, where you're basically creating an AI avatar, right? Or replication of yourself. So Ricky has a question about what keeps someone else from using your video. I mean, why would anyone want to try and steal? Who wants to be as handsome as Tim? You know, it's like,
right.
Why would they want to be impersonating Tim? Fraud.
Yeah. Quite honestly, I did have some reservations. Like, do I really want the likeness of me and my voice out there without my control and what that twin might be saying? If somebody were to steal me. Yeah.
Well, and these are some of the deep rabbit holes that we can go down, but we're not going to go down in today's session. Deep fakes is what you're referring to there, Ricky. Deep fakes is definitely something that's happening. But again, I think we need to focus on how we can actually use it productively. So with that said, I think what I find most agents like to use it for is, seeing some of the comments here, is like a productivity, efficiency, taking the things that used to take hours to create and shortening the curve or the path on those. So being able to have your output be optimized, if you will. So with that in mind, I am going to share something with you guys. And I know I can share a screen, so hold on a second. Let me go over here, share screen. You're going to get this as a thank you for being here today. And so I want to share this with you because this is one of the best use cases I've found with AI, aside from the usual stuff of write me a script and social media posts and all that kind of stuff. And, we could definitely talk about that. I would say the one takeaway from that is you've got to make sure you edit for the output. But more importantly, let's focus on this one use case here for this AI. And this is a custom GPT. So if you're not familiar with the custom GPT, what that is, it's you have the ability to obviously create your own AI with a pre-built set of outcomes. It's purpose-built essentially, and you can program it or provide it with all kinds of context and content and different things like that, so that it has a particular task. It will use not only the content that you give it, but it'll obviously use its own database of large language and other resources and assets that it has. Now, the more you provide it, the better. If you ever are interested in creating your own custom GPT, by the way, the best way to start with that, I find, yes, I'll show you how to do that in a second in the actual app, but one of the ways you could start is even in GPT itself. You can just ask GPT saying, I want to build a custom GPT that does this, that writes my social media posts, that builds out my calendar schedule, that fill in the blank, right? This particular case, as you can see, this is a real estate success coach. And this is purpose-built to be a coach for you and your business plan. So there's already, 4 go-to prompts that are built here that you would just, and I'm going to click on one of these in a minute. Let's take a vote. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one of these do you want me to start with? And as I wait for the chat to come in and I look at your answers, 1, 2, 3, or 4, these are all prompts that launch a sequence of conversation with ChatGPT, your digital assistant. You can build your prompts, build your kind of, custom GPT for whatever purpose you want. So in this case, we have 4 that are already pre-built. How do I build a business plan for 100 grand income? What should I prioritize in a slow market? Can you create daily tasks? And then how do I align my budget with my marketing goals? So let me jump back in. Do we have any votes yet? So I see so far 3 is the winner, then 2. And then 3, Sunshine writes a business plan. So Sunshine's an advanced user. You have been wanting to figure out how to customize it inside GPT. Okay. So it looks like 3 is winning overall. Let me jump back to 3. Where did I leave off? I have too many windows open. Here we go. Okay, so number 3.1, can you create daily tasks to meet my goals? So this is a custom built GPT. Before I show you that, I'm going to continue. I'm going to prolong the teasing. In your GPT account, on the top right here, where your headshot is, this is essentially your account profile, etc. You'll see these different things in here. You'll see customized ChatGPT, right? So essentially, you would click that, and I already have one that's here. And you would want to customize it, call it certain things. I've got certain traits I've already built in. So when you're building your custom GPT, you can build certain traits, right? And here's the little question bubble that will give you more specifics like, well, what tone do you want? Do you want it to be professional, casual, opinionated? The other thing you can do is you can upload past transcripts of conversations you've had, videos you've done, social posts, interviews you've done, start to think about you capturing certain content for you to be able to feed into GPT to learn more about you and your style. And this is a bio right here that I put in here about who is Geoff Zimpfer and what is he all about, because this will help the GPT to learn. And then you can turn on these additional capabilities, which is, do you want to allow it to search the web? Do you want to allow it to use DALL-E, which is an image generation tool, write code, collaborate on text and code? So some of these may or may not be relevant to you. And enable for new chats, which would mean it would take this learning you gave it and it would use the inputs you've put in here for the future prompts that you provide GPT. It would reference this and have this kind of knowledge base about you and whatever you instructed this to do. And if you don't want that enabled for all new chats, then obviously you turn that off. Go back here. I'll show you the GPTs I've created now. So under my GPTs, I'm going to click over here and you'll see these are ones that I've created, messed around with, etc. So Seller Seminar Playbook for Realtors. By the way, that's a new class that we want to consider, Tim. It's how to help realtors do seller seminars for those that want to downsize. Pretty popular topic. Agent Class Planner. This is if you want to plan classes for you guys, for agent classes. Podcast Content Machine. A Geoff Zimpfer style coach. This could be, you could be do like a real estate agent, consultant in your voice and uploading content and everything like that you've done. An open house expert. Here's another custom GPT I've built for some of our real estate agent clients where we teach classes on open houses. So this is, again, purpose-built and pre-built to help you market and promote open houses and convert attendees, et cetera, et cetera. You see this home buying helper, a social media content creator or mortgage broker helping first-time home buying couples. So again, mine's mortgage focused there, et cetera, et cetera. I think you guys get it conceptually, right? Okay, now let's hope this goes back. Here we go. Now you said number 3. I'm gonna push this button. This is what the cool thing about how quick and easy a custom GPT will help you. Can you create daily tasks to meet my sales goals? So I clicked the prompt. It says I can help you create a set of daily tasks tailored to your goals, but I need a bit of more information first. Your income goal, your average commission per transaction. All right, so let's play with this. Let's just say my income goal is 100K. My average commission per transaction, where are we? Vegas. So let's just say it's $500,000 average sales price. So what do you want to say for an average commission? 8 grand? 9, 10? You guys tell me. Let's use 10 grand. It's nice and even. Average commission. So conversion rates, lead to appointment. Aha. Notice this is a real estate coach. Would that be the type of question a coach asks you? Yeah. So you would want to put in like, and you can just simplify it. Like number 3, it already knows. So number 3, lead to appointment. So this is the conversion ratio on how many leads equal appointments. Let's just say 30%. Appointment signed to client. Let's just say 70%. If I'm insane on that number, you tell me. Signed client to close deal. Let's just say 90%. Okay, current pipeline. Do you have any active buyers and sellers right now? Yes. 3 buyers. Next, current working hours. How many days per week do you work in real estate? How many hours? Let's just say 6 days, 8 hours each day. Marketing budget. Let's just say my budget's $1,000 a month. Primary lead sources, referrals. Let's see. Any other you want to throw in there for lead sources? Anybody cold call here? Let me stop and look at the chat because I can't see it, but
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah, it went quiet on the cold call. I don't know why.
No cold calls, Ashley. Ashley
Yeah.
rants. Hey, is that a rant, Ashley? I'm sure you've heard that before. Sorry, I just had to go there. It's a low hanging fruit, Ashley. You've not heard that?
Oh, she
Ashley's
hasn't.
ranting.
Nice.
Social media and YouTube. No cold calls. Sunshine. Love it. All right, let me get back to my GPT. So no cold calling. Oops. Now hold on a second. All right, I'm going to, there's a little bit of a challenge I've had lately with my AI. It gets a little bit funky and I usually need to cut and paste this and pull it out of here. But all right, let's see here. Marketing budget, your market. I'm going to put this at the top because this is just a weird issue. I need to refresh my browser, just so you know. All right, so I've got the basic info in there. Now, I answered its questions. It doesn't have to be pretty or organized or anything like that, but here's the summary. Income goal, 100 grand, average commission, 10 grand. That's obviously 10 transactions a year, average of 1 per month, considering fallout, et cetera. This is, again, everything I've given it. No, not rocket science here, big deal. To close 10 deals a year, it says I need 12 signed clients, 17 appointments, 57 leads per year, based on my percentages I gave it. Your percentages would be different, so your numbers would be different. And then what's going to do is break it down a daily task or plan based on 6 days a week, 8 hours a day in these examples. So lead gen, 3 hours a day. 1 hour of cold calling. Notice how it added that, even though I didn't have that in there, I don't believe. 1 hour follow-ups with Sphere referrals, call 3 to 5 people from your database, past clients, et cetera. 1 hour on social media. Weekly targets, 6 new leads from these channels. I'm just going to go through this and then we'll review together. Appointment setting and follow-up, 1.5 hours a day. Follow-up, schedule, text call, client service, showings, prep, offers, manage your buyers, respond to questions, keep deal moving, admin and CR updates. So this is basically mapping out a schedule with how much time allotted with each activity. So you can take this and put it into your calendar. And it'll give a weekly focus, 6 new leads, 2 to 3 appointments. By the way, guys, in the chat, do you think this is somewhat tracking based on the inputs I gave it in terms of like, we want to do X, the transactions that told us 1 new client every 2 weeks. I don't know how you respond to that. If you think that's accurate, in line, possible. I mean, are there some agents right now signing 1 client every 2 weeks? I would think so. Monthly goals. So again, I think when I look at this, would you like a printable checklist integrated in a Google Sheet or calendar right now? Yes, Google Sheet. All right, so I'm going to take a pause on that. Let me come and look at the chat. Yeah, what's your feedback so far on that? What I was going to say was, sounds like we have a lot of successful agents here. Yes, it's possible if we do the work. Of course. What I find more often than not is that most agents are shooting from the hip. That they don't have a structured plan built out on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis with an allotment of hours or time per activity. So if we want to get more productive, well, first of all, GPT just helped us a little bit in building out a framework, but more importantly is, how many of you here live by the adage, if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist? So what of the, we've shown you right here, what's not on your calendar, right? So right now, look at this, what it gave me. I have a Google Sheet, help you stay organized. Let me just click this. Sometimes okay, so this is like a sample Google Sheet. I didn't like try and connect it or whatever to Google, etc. Oh, look at now it gives me a visual guide on how to use this. Here it is right here. It just took a little bit of time. Where did this do? Okay, here we go. It produced a lot more content. Customize my goals, visual guide. There was a link. Could have sworn I saw right here. Let's see if this does work. The link's not verified. I don't care because it's going over to Google. All right, can you guys see this on the screen right now? I assume so.
I didn't see the template open up.
Yeah, because I have to reshare to a different tab. Hold on.
Yeah.
Or my whole screen. That's really the secret to this. All right. Well, I guess. Oh, here we go. Teams. Sorry. Screen 1, screen 2. Okay. So I want to click to what it gave me, which is right here.
Got it.
You see that?
Yep.
All right, so now you've got this customizable Google Sheet. It took us maybe 10 minutes. Now, I could have gotten a lot better with the prompts and the inputs. I'm just doing this for sake of time. Click here to create in Smartsheet. All right, redirecting me. And again, I'm just figuring this out here as I go. Oh, Smartsheet, I guess, is a tool or something like that. That is a third-party app, so I don't want to do that. Thank you for that, though. So anyway, this is in Google right now. I could save this. I could spend some time customizing this, and I could go back to the GPT and just be a little bit more intelligent and intentional with the prompts. I could watch the video it gave me. Okay, so let me take a pause, stop sharing, and just based on 10 minutes of us riffing, who, by the way, does not have an organized structure like that for your activities right now on your calendar? Let's be honest. So Sunshine says, this is great, using it this month to set up all your calendar systems. Michael says, I do not fully. Yeah, we have some semblance of that, right? And I think that's the real key takeaway. It's not like, oh my God, save my life, do everything for me, AI, help me extract what I know I should do, get out of my head, and help me put a structure and framework around the activities I know I should be doing. And so this is just one use case here, example of that, of this custom GPT. Now, let's do this. Let's go back to the original 4 prompts. I'm going to share a screen again. And remember, you guys are going to get this custom GPT because you're here with Rock Title and Rock University.
All right. The crowd goes crazy.
Right. So we picked number 3. What should I prioritize in a slow market? I don't know about you, is this a slow market, a more normalizing market? I don't know, a funky market, but I'm going to pull the lever on number 2. Okay? And because I'm really curious, and I think that there's a little bit of what's called a transaction recession right now. And so how do we do that? How do we respond? And I think this says it right here, longer decision cycles. Double down on lead generation and nurture. And by the way, when I sit in on the coaches out there, the Tom Ferrys of the world and other people, what they talk about is what we've covered so far. Number 1, have a plan, very specific, income, what are the activities, map it out in your calendar. And then number 2, they talk about staying visible. They talk about conversations right here. Make 10 to 15. These are the fundamentals. And there is no bright, shiny, sexy object. Yes, social media is a part of this, of being visible. But some people set aside the fundamental in lieu of the other stuff because making calls is outside of your comfort zone sometimes, or you don't want to bother people, or whatever that negative self-talk is, right? But look at this. Here is what to do in a down market. Make 10 calls, send 5 personal messages to check in and provide value. Hey, what's up? Just checking in. Not sure if you're keeping track of what's going on in the market. Inventory's up, rates are flattening out. Hey, if you're curious about what the value of your home is, just DM me back. Happy to put together a custom CMA for you. I mean, that's an example of 5 personal outreaches right there on text. Then, of course, posting content is now a good time to buy or sell. Oh, so by the way, let's just keep going. Sharpen your skills, study local data. So important when you're having conversations to be able to speak to what are the lists, the pendings, what's the time on market, what is the list price to sale price? All these types of things that help position you as obviously knowledgeable and a thought leader. Role play, man, that's an important one that a lot of people don't do. Attend a training or a webinar like today. Deepen relationships, increase visibility in your community, audit, improve your systems. Bonus, focus on listings. Okay, now I'm going to go back to this number 1 right here. Double down on lead generation and nurture. I am going to ask it for number 1, can you create a sample call or text script to connect with SOI and offer a I'll just keep it simple. There's some other ideas I have, but for sake of time, we're going to keep it. Okay, let's just see what it says. Absolutely. Here's a call script, blah, 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 for a market update, non-sales value. So, hey, Bill, it's Geoff at ABC Real Estate. How have you been? I was thinking about you recently. Just wanted to check in. Since I'm staying pretty deep in the market right now, I've reached out to friends and clients just to keep everyone in the loop. The market's been shifting. A lot of people are asking if it's a good time to buy or sell. That's true. You're not lying. Here in Vegas, we're seeing brief market insight. We're seeing whatever you see. You guys know. You should have the data. Oh, by the way, if you'd like the data, Tim, I'm curious, where would they possibly get some market data on what's happening?
I would say reach out to your friendly sales rep at Rock Title, because we have some amazing resources for you and we can get you market insight for sure.
Can you get like actual charts, graphs, and things like that too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
we have all that.
Could you take market statistics that are not in a chart graph formula, and could you cut and paste those and put them into GPT and have it create a graph or summary of what's happening in the market?
Absolutely.
We wouldn't
do that. We wouldn't do that, but it's certainly, that's why everybody's on the call today. Speaking of calls,
yes,
just a quick segue, not much of a segue though. Listen, I don't see people jumping up and down to make cold calls, right? Never have I heard. There's like one or two in the group. Maybe Sunshine. Are you a cold call fanatic? I don't know, but she seems to be on point and always has something to say, which is a good thing. But that said, I just dropped in actually for ChatGPT. I'm like, does the platform, or can you refer me to AI-powered cold calling tools? So I'm going to drop this in chat. There's like 4 or 5 of them where they'll actually make calls to leads and qualify them and then route the leads back to the agent. Just a thought. Interesting.
So many different use cases, 100%. And I think what me personally, call me old school, whatever. But I do believe that first and foremost, we have to master the fundamentals. And then we layer in those other things. Because if you're not connecting with people, your sphere of influence, past clients, leads, ghosted leads, open house, people, if you're not having conversation, bottom line, whatever we're talking about here today, AI or not, it's all about having a conversation. That conversation can take place over text, over DM, but it can take place over the phone as well. The question is, how are you igniting conversations? You have to be smart with how you engage and kind of what your offer is. So that's why I kind of like what I did here with GPT. Let me go back to where we left off here and share this. Okay. So we were back on the call script. Once again, hit up your Rock Title rep to get inventory on what's happening. Rates have ticked up and down. Well, not really. They're level right now. I'm sure if you've been thinking about any moves or I'm happy to share quick. Again, this is just being of service. Hey, no pressure at all, Tim. Just want to be helpful, resource. Would you like me to send you a quick snapshot of your area's numbers? So you can get creative with that, right? You can do just a video text message as well and send it to them. Same script, but it's a video. It's a one-off video. If you've got this person's mobile phone number, you get out your phone and you record a 1-minute video message and you text it to them. DM me back if you want a quick snapshot of your numbers, your value. And guys, I know that sounds basic, but I'm sorry, it works. The fundamentals work. People always want to know what the value of their home is. Like if I got that today from my realtor, yes, I could get on Zillow or whatever, but if you've maintained some level of engagement with that person you're reaching out to, they're going to probably want that more so from you, trust you a little bit more. Anyway, what I'm going to say is this: try it. Take this one idea, execute it. Here's a text script. You can personalize it, all that fun stuff. Now, what prompt would you like me to give this? Anybody watching right now? What would you suggest to carry this forward? Like this is your digital assistant. So what would be like a next, like look at this. The prompt, it even asks you market condition or zip code. All right. While I'm waiting for the chat to come in, let me do this. Zip code 89128. Now this is where we get a little bit funny and you spend a little bit of time with your GPT. This is where I think it gets really interesting because I could go super deep here. No, wait a minute. It's not doing what I wanted it to do, which by the way, sometimes happens. No. Okay, I don't want to say that. Here's what I want to say. I should have been better with the prompt. I'm feeling rushed for time, and so I'm being a little bit lazy. Here we go. Can you give me market stats for my zip code for housing data and create a graph of the last 90 days of home sales. I don't know. Just for, again, I could spend more time creating the prompt. I'd get a better output, which by the way, that's also another mistake most people make too often is half-assing your prompts. Garbage in, garbage out. Better quality prompts and requests in, better responses out. Now, I don't know if this is accurate. You'd probably want to check with your rep at Rock Title to be sure. But according to this, based on my zip code, this does not look accurate based on where I live in terms of the price points. I could be wrong because I don't know how big 89128 is. But it'd be interesting to see if that's accurate. Maybe somebody here knows. Jocelyn, get on there. Pull it up. What is the median sales price for 89128 zip code, February 2025?
I'm actually checking right now.
This would be interesting to know. Let me go back to the chat and see if anybody's got it. Does anybody have like Palm? You got an app on your phone or something?
No, so one of the apps that we use or platforms is called Altos Reports.
Yeah.
And so reach out to your rep here in Vegas, or if you're in Arizona, Rock Title Agency, see if they provide that for you.
Tim, what was the zip code we're looking for?
8912.
Are you able to pull that one up?
Yeah.
Yeah, Las Vegas 89128. Yeah, I have it pulled up. The median list price is 624,900,000.
Is that from yours data?
Yeah, this is from Altos.
Oh, from Altos. Okay. Yeah, and so what you could do is you could, take that information from Altos and feed it into GPT and, have it create a conversation, a talk track around that scripting language or whatever. You can use it as your digital assistant for crafting an email. By the way, does anybody here write newsletters? Okay, so how do you create content for the newsletter? Obviously, a part of your newsletter should have some relative local market information in it. Okay, so those are just two quick prompts we did in the GPT Real Estate Success Coach. Now, I'm going to put the link to this in the chat right now, so you guys have it. Actually, I don't know why that is. I can't chat. I can't message. Let me see if I can find Jocelyn and message you directly. Apparently I can't. My privileges are not enabled. So I will send this afterwards, Tim, and you can send it out to everybody.
You got it, and I'll work on your privileges.
I don't have privileges. Okay, so Sunshine just sat down with Heather at Rock Title to see the template newsletter for last week.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice. And, I often ask people, are you writing a blog? Are you doing a newsletter? And a lot of people are like, blog, why? Do people even read blogs anymore? And something to be said about that is because you can make it keyword rich, right? And you definitely want to get that on your website to help with branding and organic growth.
Absolutely. Okay, now let me show you one other thing. Okay, so there's another thing in ChatGPT called tasks. All right. Now I'm going to show you this right here. Share screen one more time. We'll begin to wrap it up here. Entire screen. Okay, so there's a tasks feature in ChatGPT. So when you're logged in, and I'm not sure if this is just for the 4 version, right, the 4.0, And I'm not sure if this is on free versus paid. I'd have to log in and out and see. I have two different accounts. I have a free one and a paid one. To me, the $20 a month is an absolute no-brainer. But the point being is, with these different iterations of GPT that all specialize in different things, this 4.0, right, is one of the newer versions of it. And you can actually schedule administrative task reminders, daily content reminders, keep track of important contract dates. So again, maybe you have a CRM or something that you use for this, but here's a few examples. Like, give me Las Vegas real estate news every day. Not bad. Remind me to cold call leads, okay? Remind me to do my daily tasks. Remind me to post a video every day. And again, this is pretty basic. Give me a newsletter to write every month. So this would be, it's going to, with some additional prompts and context, this could be a custom GPT you built, which is a Las Vegas local newsletter. And it has a task to go out and search the web and kind of grab all this content and put it together for you. Okay. And remind you with that task. So that maybe is building that into your process or your workflow. I'll keep going just a little bit quickly right now. So content planning, you can use it obviously for all that kind of stuff. AI and video image creation. When you're coaching GPT, you want to remember to be specific with the inputs. Like, what role do you want it to take on? In this GPT prompt here, let me make this bigger on the screen. Okay, so you can see the role is experienced Instagram growth strategist. I'm a real estate agent in Miami, targeting reload buyers. Top priority is attracting would-be buyers thinking of moving from Miami. You could do this top targeting people who are thinking about relocating to Vegas from California, other states, right? Give me 10 reels to captivate my audience. Each reel should include boom, 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 boom. So you're giving it the specifics, the role, the audience you're looking to reach, where, the voice and tone, and which platform is it creating content for. Don't expect it to create great content and you're going to post that on 7 different platforms. Okay. By the way, you should be specializing on one primary platform anyways, if you want to make true progress. So this is a video actual that just shows the prompt kind of playing when this thing feeds off. I know it's hard to see on screen, but basically what this is doing is it's mapping out all these different over here. See these phone screen images? These are 10 YouTube video title ideas. This is content ideas, all right here that was generated, carousel ideas, introduction, etc. And by the way, that can also come from your real estate success coach right here. So even though this is like got these 4 primary prompts, let me go back and take this prompt right here. It's a very basic prompt. I don't think I can grab that from the screen like that, or maybe I can. No. All right. So let me do it this way. Bear with me a minute. Act as a HIG. I'm going to move my microphone. HIGHLI. Highly skilled Instagram content expert. Help me create 3 Instagram reels about moving to Las Vegas from. Use a compelling opening hook and script. What else should I prompt it or ask it? Feel free, Jocelyn, Tim, to chime in. Compelling opening hooks and scripts. Keep it to max 45 seconds. Create the outline for each part of the reel. All right. And again, I would take more time in not on a webinar like this, writing a prompt. So even just on a basic level, if you guys have not tried this before, if you've not gotten specific with prompts like this, it can be contextual to any degree you want. Okay. So if you need help with what to post, opening hooks and things like that, well, obviously ChatGPT can definitely help with that. So you're going to want to read through it and see, A, is it accurate? B, is it in your tone? And this gets back to what we said earlier about, adjusting tone, custom GPTs, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to go into video mode. Here's the hook. Thinking of leaving California? You're not alone. Here's why Las Vegas is the number one move. And you might want to expand on that a little bit. Number one move for people moving right over to Las Vegas or something, or whatever you want to add to. So number one, cost of living. The average home price in Vegas is nearly half of what you pay in SoCal. Lower taxes, no income tax. It's like giving yourself a raise. Lifestyle. Number three, you get amazing dining, entertainment, and outdoor adventure just minutes from home. And yes, it is not all casinos. And then a quick stat. Hey, by the way, newsflash, over 40,000 Californians moved here yet last year alone. Want the full reload checklist? Drop a whatever in the comments, a fire emoji, a comment, which is like checklist or something. And then here's the last one with a branding CTA slide. Again, this is like structuring the format of video. You don't have to put that in there, a branding CTA slide at the end. That's it. That's the end right there. Hey, want the full reload checklist? Drop me in the comments. And now for people watching your reel, right? You're going to get some people who are going to be like, DM me the keyword, checklist, whatever. And, we can have another class on automation and using ManyChat and how you automate that. But I'm probably in the beginning, you don't need to automate that at all. I do this and I don't automate it. And I just manually grab the link I already have and I cut and paste that right into the DM back to them. And it's live. And I let them know, hey, this is live. It's not my robot. Nothing wrong with doing a robot thing, but that's a whole nother thing for setting that up. Here's another reel. Top 3 mistakes. And again, if you guys know about content and creating reels, it all starts with the hook. Hey, here's the top 3 mistakes people make when moving to Vegas from California. Okay. Positions you as a trusted expert, preventing blah, 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 blah. Hey, you moving from Vegas to Cali? Well, don't make these 3 mistakes. Number 1, boom, 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 boom. Vegas versus Cali. Which one wins? So again, would this take us like 3 minutes? All right. I'm going to stop sharing. It's time to poll the audience. What do you think so far? We're just scratching the surface, but what's been your biggest takeaway so far? I see some awesomes in there. Is that because of what we just shared or because Tim has a nice smile?
Stop. I think it's the content.
Jocelyn has a better smile, I got to say, but
she does. Yeah, there's no doubt there. I absolutely love having you on our webinars. The content's always great. So much to be had. In AI can help us in so many ways, but at the end of the day, like you said, it's about, human connection. You got to have that connection once you get these hooks, these videos in place to help, build your social media, so on and so forth. You got to put the work in.
I would say, and thank you for that, by the way, I would say what I'm trying to train my brain on right now is whatever the bottleneck is in my business, I am trying to get into the habit of going to AI to solve the bottleneck. And that may often help. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes it's like a person you need to hire, but usually there's a process before the person or ideas like the real estate business coach. Or how many of you here, let's finish up this way. How many of you here think your biggest bottleneck when it comes to social is content? I know it's mine, by the way. I'm really beating myself up about content lately. And it's funny. I feel like the cobbler whose kids have lousy shoes. You know what I mean? Which is like, I got all this information and knowledge, but do a better job prescribing to others than myself,
For sure.
Anyway, what's the one big takeaway? Let's go in here. Barb, Sunshine, Tim. That's you, Tim. Who else? Going way back to the thread. Gene. Of the 20 people who are still here, what's your one big takeaway so far? So Gene says, explore more of the various platforms. Gene, I would say narrow it down to like 1 or 2 and don't go down the rabbit hole yet of all these other bright, shiny objects. Really figure out how you can use it for better productivity. Okay. It's right. Just get into the groove, Jason. Give structure to the stuff swinging around. Remember, AI, particularly GPT, and even Claude, they're your digital assistant. So think about how you would train a digital assistant if you had one. And by the way, if you have an assistant, it helps with mapping out their roles and duties and responsibilities and putting together a calendar for them too. So remember, whatever the bottleneck is, let me go ask GPT how it would help. Literally just have a conversation with it. And then lastly, I guess then I'll turn it back to you is if you don't have the mobile app yet for ChatGPT, I encourage you to do it, download it. And there is a voice feature. And let me see if I can bring this up. All right. You might understand why in a moment, why my wife doesn't like this. Let's see if you can hear it. I'm going to call her. Hey, Carmen.
Hey there. What's
You guys were able to hear that? Hey, Carmen, can you say hello to Rock Title?
Sure thing. Hello, Rock Title.
You guys hear that?
Love it. Absolutely.
I heard it loud and clear.
Okay.
Sounds like you're all.
Thank you, Carmen. So the point being is you actually can have a voice conversation with your AI. I gave it a name, Carmen. Wife's not happy about that. And so she created her own called Alfred. So now we have this kind of war between us. But the point being is like, you're going to, trust me, it's not going to be weird very soon, where you're going to be having a conversation with this artificial intelligence and having a dialogue helping you with all kinds of things. By the way, on my trip to Europe, we got an Uber, guy doesn't speak a lick of English, boom. And I just, enabled it ahead of time. Hey, translate this to from France to whatever, right? Guys, there's so many use cases. So anyway, welcome to the new world. Tim, back to you.
Absolutely, my friend. Well, listen, we've got our work cut out for us. We need to, as soon as we get done with this call or shortly thereafter, we need to figure out what we're going to do next month. Again, loving having you on. Maybe it's an extension of AI. We'll talk about that. But again, thanks for your knowledge, your insight, and nicely put together as well. For those of you that have found value in today's presentation, absolutely, we'd love an opportunity to work with you. So write us in on your next transaction. We're here to help earn your business and help scale your business by providing valuable resources like today's webinar. Quick question in here, Sunshine says, does the voice AI also send it into transcript mode so you can go back and see it later if need be?
Yes, it does. So I just opened up my app and it has the transcript of what we just did a few moments ago.
Very cool. Good stuff. Any
All
other
right.
questions before we let you have the rest of your day back?
I will send that email to you with the custom GPT. We can forward off to everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, my friend. Thanks so much.
All right.
Thanks, everyone, for attending today. Thanks, Jocelyn.
Thank you, everyone.